Do you love to cruise? I know I love to cruise. But the one thing I hate about cruising is rude people. That's right, rude people. Well, in this coffee talk, we're going to talk about some really rude people. And a lot of cruisers have come to me and said, Dom, when is your next cruise? We have one booked in January. It's a big cruise. It's a long cruise. That's why it's so far away in 2026. And it's also the first time this ship goes out of Jacksonville. It's NCL Gem. Well, yes, we are looking for smaller ones at this time. And I may be planning a big ground trip, which I love those as well. And I want to experience that first experience to these particular islands with you. But most of all, this is about rude people. Why am I talking about rude people? Well, think about it. I always run into more and more and more when I'm either traveling, getting on a plane, driving at the ports, getting on the ship, getting off the ship, you name it, I seem to hear it or I see it. And recently, another blogger was on a cruise ship and talked about some rude people. And now, you know how they make the announcements, and based on the majority of people on the cruise and nationalities, they tried to have every announcement in all those languages, which I don't mind, man. In fact, I think it's very cool. As my father, I said many times, was multilingual. Now, the ship hadn't even left yet and was giving the first major announcements. And evidently, there was a lot of people from Japan on this ship. So they accommodated them by making first an American version, then a Japanese version, and then what other language there was. And there was a lady complaining about this shouldn't be any language but English. That's it, Planto. Why? Why are we doing this? We're in America. We should speak English. Let them, if they're going to go on an American cruise line, then they need to learn English. We should not have to accommodate for them. Well, last time I checked, a cruise ship was a multi-language environment. There's many cultures on a cruise ship. I've learned a lot of things from cultures on cruise ship. I've met a lot of people from all over the world, and I'm still in contact today. 20 years of cruising is pretty good. Okay. So, I mean, a lot of people like, but I also do other kinds of travels. I've done train and I've shared that with you. I do amusement parks because I do have younger family members. I shared that with you. We've also did a land and transatlantic cruise, which I'm sorry, all that got lost when and my computer crashed a couple of years ago. But I still have the pictures from it. But the one thing you do not want to run into is rude people. You can't avoid them. It happens. There's always someone in the bunch. When the cruise ships are getting larger and it's not no longer 25,000, it's 5,000 or 7,000 people on a cruise ship. Believe it or not, you're going to run into multiple rude people. Multiple. For example, we were on the Christmas cruise out of Bayonne, and this person was just in a hurry. And it was beautiful atmosphere. Everybody's taking their pictures in front of the big trees and having a good time. There's a little kid standing there waiting with his parent. Someone ran around me, knocked into that kid, didn't even stop to say, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Just kept going. Just kept going. And then you get the people that complain about the children on the ship. Well, they should. Why people bring their kids on the ship? You know what? If you don't want to be on a ship with children, go somewhere else. That's right. Go somewhere else. Now, this is not unusual that people will book a family cruise where there's lots of kids certain times of the years, even spring breakers, graduates go as a group. So, and there are the first to complain that there are children on the ship. And a lot of this, there's two cruises right now offering children go for free. So beware for those who don't want to travel with children. Watch what you book. Now, I booked a cruise. It was a great cruise. It was on the Grandeur of the Seas. Not a really good ship at the time, for children, a lot of children. The just space was limited. At the last minute, because it wasn't booked fully, they put the word out, kids go for free. Book that cruise right up. Now I'm going to tell you, I didn't take my kids, but I played nursemaid to a lot of children. And every 5 to 10 minutes, we kept hearing announcements. Please, no running. Please walk carefully. The deck is wet. We do not want to see you go home, go to medical. We don't want to send you home with broken bones. Wow, that's a pretty good announcement. And it just kept going and kept going and kept going. I didn't mind the announcement. I thought it was a little much. But then as I was watching the kids from the ages 10 to 17, they just didn't seem to understand that rule. So, okay, and that's fine. But this is about rude people. The ships have policies for a reason. They have rules for a reason. I mean, I guess not watching your kids pretty rude. But could you just imagine being on a ship, and the mega ships do hold about 7,000 people, and you say you're not going to just get one or two rude person, you're going to get a group of them. And one time we were at a table having lunch, and we came across one, and the lady was like, "Did you see those people?" It's like, "What people?" And they go, "They're everywhere." Now we were on a ship that was having two conventions. One was AA, and the other one was Pride. And I was like, "I'm not sure who you're talking about." And she said, "The people that can't drink." I was like, "Oh, so you don't worry about the Pride people." What do you mean? There's gay people on the ship? The look on her face, she didn't really care for the fact that there was a ship full of people that didn't drink, but they were here celebrating their sobriety. But she was pissed at the fact that there was a just as big or not larger convention or Pride on the ship. And she was appalled. And the things coming out of her mouth was, "Oh my God." you know, I was not brought up in that environment. Everybody's, doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what color you are, what your sexual partner is, you are all equal and deserve love and respect. So I had a lot of people have been emailing me, and I've been finding it in the blogs on Facebook. I try to really stay away from Facebook lately because I'm going to tell you something. That's so full of scams right now that it's just, yeah, there's a new one. Taking something really honest and making it really bad. That will be the next video. But this one's all about rude people. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but I'm very honest when it comes to nasty people. I don't like them. I tolerate them and I respect them. I have to be calm and I have to smile at them and said, "Well, they're everywhere." Or, something cute. It's like, what did they ever do to you? And then they just look at you. Now, if you catch me off on a bad day and I'm not having and I'm having a good time, I just don't want to be bothered. I'm already tired of the rudeness. My husband says I have a look that I can shoot daggers out of my eyeballs. I said I developed that when I was a pre-K teacher. I didn't tolerate bad children. So that is our coffee talk today. See you on the next cruise.